Welcome fellow freaks, geeks, and nostalgic 90s nerds. This video is going to be a book haul reveal plus a little beer to wet my whistle while we look at the book haul. This beer that I'm drinking is actually a Rogue Hazelnut Brown Nectar. I'll tell you more about it right after this intro. Cheers! It's about to start, gut buckets, so hold on to your butts. May the force be with you. I'll be back, and get ready to engage. Alright guys, welcome back. I have a massive vintage paperback book haul here, and I'm really excited to go through the books I found with you guys. Over 30 books. Pretty cool. But before I do, since I labeled this video beer and book haul, or book haul and beer, you really could say it either way, I'm going to talk a little bit about the beer I'm drinking tonight, which is Rogue Hazelnut Brown Nectar. As I said before, it's ale with natural hazelnut flavor. I like a lot of browns, and I also like ambers as well. I'm a big craft beer person. A nutty twist to a traditional European brown ale, dark brown in color with a hazelnut aroma, a rich nutty flavor, and a smooth malty finish. And it pairs well with grilled cheese sandwiches, pork chops, and bread pudding, which here in New Orleans, where I'm from, is actually a very popular dessert. So we have all kinds of bread puddings. When you go to restaurants, you see that on a lot of menus. So that's good to know that this goes with that. So that beer is from Oregon. And again, that's what I'm drinking tonight. As you can see, dark brown. That's how brown ales, obviously, are colored. It's very delicious. Alright, now let's get to the other B, the books, and the book haul. Alright, again, I'm going to start with the shiny books that are in bags. And this is the way they were shipped, and I do intend to keep some of them this way. And we're going to start off with a very cool colored book. Look at those colors, okay? Blue, like an orangey yellow, pinkish, orangey. Spook by Steve Vance. Really pretty. I just love the way this one looks. This one obviously wasn't from a bookstore locally, it was from online, and it came in a bag. That's the sticker of the Etsy shop. Alright, so Spook. I just love the cover, that's why I wanted to get it. Here's another cover that I'm obsessed with. And sorry again about the glare, but if you tilt it different ways, you could see it in better light. So this is The Revenant by Hugh Zachary, and I just love the skull on the cover, and there's screaming kids inside the eye of this creepy skull. Whoa. Pretty freaking creepy. Okay, I love this one. This one I love as well, John Russo, Living Things. Look at that snake going like into his eyes and kind of going on the side of his face, like, and he's actually got like a snake-like face. Look at those fangs there. What's this dude? Who is he? What kind of creature is this guy?
Beneath the shimmering Miami sun sprawls one of the mafia's biggest empires, a glittering world of lavish beachfront mansions, neon-painted nightclubs, beautiful women, expensive cars, and absolute control over the state's billion-dollar drug trade. But one by one, its gang lords and henchmen are falling prey to a new rival. His powers are fueled by monstrous ancient rituals.
Ooh.
His hellish undead legions slaughter mobsters and innocent citizens alike. His unholy lust for power is virtually unstoppable. Now, a burned-out ex-detective and a brilliant anthropologist must enter a gruesome nightmare world to fight this master of malevolence and illusion. Their time is short, their weapons few, and they face an ultimate terrifying choice: annihilation or the loss of their souls to the eternal torment of those who never die. Living Things.
The Adversary is one, and I just love this cover. Really nice cover. It's not shiny because it's not in a bag. Nice spine, relatively so. And I won't be reading this one because the spine's not that messed up, and I don't want to mess it up more, so, but I just love that cover. Let's take another look. Of course, Graham Masterton's insane, and this is Walkers by Masterton. I love how this guy basically is getting grabbed by a wall. Like, look at that wall. You didn't think a wall could be menacing, but in this case, it can, and it is. And I love the texture of the book because all the bricks of the wall are raised and you can feel it. A book that is super hyped up, William W. Johnstone's Toy Cemetery. Again, it's a reading copy. I will be reading it. I'm really eager to see what this is all about for myself. I'm super pumped. And these 3 that I just showed, this one and the 2 previous, are from the Etsy store, A Bridge to Hell. Thank you so much, A Bridge to Hell. I can't wait to read these. It'll be a lot of fun, especially Toy Cemetery. You know, Grady Hendrix kind of pumped that book up a little bit and said how nuts it was in Paperbacks from Hell, the nonfiction book, chronicling all of these type of paperbacks, 70s and 80s era horror paperbacks. So that kind of tells you all about that. This one I'm about to show has a cash sticker on it that I have to take off. But the stickers come off relatively easy, but they leave a residue that's not even sticky, and I still haven't tried to get them off yet. I'm really nervous. So this is The Kill Riff by David J. Shao, and I've heard a lot about this. Of course, this is also mentioned in Paperbacks from Hell, and as you can see, part of the guitar, instead of strings, it's like knives and blades. Ooh, pretty neat. Cameron from Library Macabre, he recently showed in one of his library tours, when he was showing off his vintage horror, he showed this book, Pranks, and I just really adored the freaking face on the cover. She's half pumpkin, half girl, with an axe going through her head. Just so unique, and I think I want to do a whole pumpkin-themed cover display for around Halloween time. So I'm trying to collect some horror paperbacks with pumpkins on them, so I could do like a mini display in my room or something. This one, I was so pumped. This might be my favorite of the whole haul. It's called Premonition by J.N. Williamson. And by the way, J.N. Williamson, I've looked a lot at some of the books that I've got of his, and they all pretty much have great covers. So I'm pretty excited. This one's no exception. It is incredible. Let me just tell you a little bit, explain the cover. It is a freaking roller coaster, which is like an evil roller coaster, because at the very bottom, right here, I'll zoom in a second, it says 666. So it's like a roller coaster of the beast or something. And then we've got a little boy screaming in fright. There's all kinds of skeletons behind him. And the roller coaster is going through this wooden structure, which is basically like a large looking skull with wooden teeth. Sharp teeth, I should add, that are poking out. Look at those wooden eyes. Look at those wooden teeth. Look at that kid. Oh, he's scared. And there's the 666. Alright, so this one, this is like the creme de la creme. I love this one. It wasn't that expensive either. Alright, so now we come to all the rest of these books that I'm about to show are books I found at a local bookstore here in New Orleans. More specifically Metairie, which is very close to New Orleans, but no one who's not from here knows where that is, so I just say New Orleans. But they are a decent bookstore, and I found some gems from them, but the one bag thing is that they do have stickers on some of the covers that say cash, and, you know, not all of the books are in great shape. So, it is what it is. And again, I'm pulling these off of my book cart.
From hell.
So basically I have the first shelf of the book cart is all my vintage recent finds. Alright, we're going to start off with Deathstone, and this is not that hard to find. Really nice cover, but I saw multiple copies at the bookstore. But it was cheap, so I said, what the hey? And of course this one's known. It's got this beautiful internal page. We see like floating bodies and stuff. Really nice. Very nice. Let's like look a little closer. Look at that little girl. Alright. And we close it, and again, you could see the face through the cutout here. This one I like eyes a lot. Eyes are so creepy. They freak me out, and I never thought I'd be able to put in contacts. Somehow I am able to touch my eye and put them in. I also wear glasses as well, because I can't wear contacts 24/7. But, yeah. I used to not think I could do it because eyes freak me out. So this isn't like an uber creepy eye or anything, but this is someone's watching, and as you can see, it's a couple kind of displayed inside of an eye, and if you look a little closer, you could see the veins of the eye. And even here, we've got kind of some texture that looks like part of a wrinkly face underneath an eye. I like it. It's very cool. And this is by Andrew Niederman, and of course that's the author of Pin, a very well-known paperback from hell, and I still would love to find that and read it, but alas, that is not at the bookstore that I frequent. So this next one I'm about to show and hold up to you is Shadow Dance by Jessica Palmer, and the tagline says,
"She has freed the ancient curse, now only she can defeat it."
I like the face on this cover. I like the colors. Look at this nice color scheme. We've got some orange, kind of yellowy orange, and then a nice purple. Not a lot of books I have are this color scheme, so I like this quite a bit. And actually, it's funny because I've got a poster over here. It's David Pumpkins, and it's purpley, and so it kind of reminds me. It kind of matches the book. That's not on purpose. It just so happens. I change that poster out all the time. This has a really nice spine. It doesn't look bad at all, so I'm happy with that. I'm super pumped about this one because I love the cover. I love covers with skeletons on them, and this is from Pocket Horror, and it is by Russell Rhodes, and it is Tricycle, and it's just such a wonderful cover. Look at that skeleton on the tricycle. Very descriptive, by the way. The title is Tricycle. We have a freaking skeleton on a tricycle, and you know, the spine's not the best, but because it's a lighter colored spine, you can't really see the creases that are there, and I like that you can't see them. But I was super happy with this one. I was like, oh my god, I love this one, and I have seen it before online, the cover. So I was super, super stoked to find it. And it was only $2.50 apparently, says the inside cover. So the back says,
"Don't you dare play with Simon's mommy. Cross your heart and hope to die." The boys at Talbot Academy called him Simple Simon, the weird little kid on the tricycle, the faculty brat with the strange eyes. But they liked Simon's mother. She taunted them, seduced them, amused herself with their taut young bodies. Such beautiful boys. 3 of them killed in such freak tragic accidents. Little Simon hated them, just like he hated the new teacher, handsome, brilliant, blind Christopher. He'd better leave Mommy alone, or he would have to be punished. Punished in a sightless nightmare. Punished by a vengeful demon. Punished by the last sound his dying brain would know, the squeak, squeak, squeak of a tricycle.
I like that a lot. Oh my god, that's fantastic. Again, I don't know if I will read it, but I love the cover. This one is kind of not the greatest cover, but I like the face a lot. I like covers with like close-ups of eerie faces or ghoul-like faces. This is Winter Scream, Chris Curry and Lisa Dean. And this one's got a cool color scheme too. What's cool about these horror paperbacks is they're not all black. A lot of books you find today are black. I mean, there are some exceptions to the rule, I will say, like Riley Sager's book. One of those is like pink, for instance. But some of these, you know, you get into a pattern where you find some really cool colored ones. Like I just showed up a purple one, a navy blue one, a gray one. This one's a really, really pretty deep blue. I like it. Winter Scream, and he looks like he's screaming. Okay, stupid. This one's decent. Josh Webster, Ceremonies. Listen, hear the horror sing. And I like the girl who's kind of like totally like a ghost-looking creature with red eyes and a candle on the cover here. And then there's this monk guy with his hands on her, like, ooh. Come with me, you little ghoul, or something. I don't know. Anyway, nice cover. Nothing overly special, but all of these are from that bookstore, and I'm like, whoa, I'm finding some cool stuff here. So this one, I love the cover. I love the purplish tones in the cover. I love the pink text. It's by Dana Reed, and it's called The Gatekeeper.
Born of evil, child of terror, it waits.
Very creepy kid on the cover there, and creepy kids are kind of cool, in my opinion. Try to get the glare off of it. Oh. Staring through the fence post. Really nice. I love this.
The house stood empty, dark, and foreboding, but it was the answer to all of Erica Walsh's problems. A sturdy roof, a place to raise her kids, a home of her own for the rest of her natural life. But if the house was empty, who was watching Erica with dead, vacant eyes, calling her name in the night with foul and fetid breath, caressing and arousing her with rough, probing hands? There was something wrong with the Walsh's new house, something evil, alive, waiting.
I love the descriptions. They're so amazing.
It spun a web of ultimate horror by Joyce Wolfe, White Spider.
Look, the spider has teal colored eyes. There's the green text, and it's just very cool, very textured cover. Here we have the back. Creepy spider. I don't like spiders. Who does? I don't know. I guess some people do. There's some people who have tarantulas as pets. I don't know. Not me. Count me out. No offense if you guys have tarantulas or spiders or something. I had pet mice, so, you know, because they eat, like, mice guts and stuff, as Buzz says when he talks about feeding his tarantula mice guts, that kind of makes me sad. I had pet mice and I loved them very much, and the idea of another creature eating them, snake, spider, whatever, makes me sad. So this one I bought purely because I actually read it, but I don't own it because I checked it out from the library. And the copy I read was actually the new Valancourt re-release copy of The Reaping. So this I found at the bookstore, and I was like, well, since I read it, I might as well get like an old school copy with the cool stroller, with the cool green on it. I love the colors here. All of these so far have had great covers with different types of coloring, and I like that a lot. So this is by Bernard Taylor, and I liked it. I enjoyed the read. It could have been a little more exciting. I will say the scares didn't really get to me that much, and I did guess the twist right before it was revealed at the end, because there is a somewhat of a twist. But there is a hilarious George Costanza type of massage situation where this guy's getting a massage and he's feeling all weird about it. So that part was funny. Will Erickson wrote about that in the new foreword that he wrote for the re-release by Valancourt. So, but I just wanted to pick up this. Just, it's not the greatest condition. If I ever found a better copy that was in like perfect condition, I'd rebuy it. But just for now, just to have it in the library. Another cover for a J.N. Williamson book. So this book by him is called Brother Kind. And the tagline says,
"They came seeking peace. What they left behind was sheer terror. Rah."
I like this cover because, again, it's got blue and yellow, and it's all completely textured. And, again, it's like a zoomed-in creepy face. For some reason, I seem to really like that. I don't know why. It just is me, I guess. Again, look at those eyes. It's got lasers coming out of them or something. Beams of creepy light coming out of the eyes. And they almost look like reptilian type of eyes. Alright, this next one, not the greatest, but not the worst. Another book by J.N. Williamson. It is called The Evil One, and it's not the only cover that I've seen of this book. This, of course, was by Zebra. And again, you could just see a creepy eye there with a claw. Kinda, that's what's making the V. It's almost like he's tearing through, but it also looks like a V. So, The Evil One. Not the greatest, as you could see this bend here. So this one was $2, and it's in great shape in terms of the spine. No real creases on the spine, some wear here on the edges of the spine, but I like it overall. I think it's a very nice looking copy. And it's called The Stalker by Claude Tools. I think that's how it's written.
Seeds of horror, seeds of death, the stalker.
I love skulls and skeletons, and a lot of these old paperbacks from hell, as you guys know, if you're fans of vintage horror, have a lot of skulls and skeletons on the covers. And so, especially Zebra, and this is another Zebra book, so I was like, yeah, I'm getting this one, especially because the spine looks so decent. This one has two different covers. The later cover is like a skeleton woman dressed up like a pretty lady with like a umbrella, and this cover is cool too, but it's not as cool as the skeleton cover. And so this is, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing this right, because if you're a longtime viewer of mine, I'm bad at pronunciation. If you're new here, be warned. I'm not ignorant or anything. I'm just bad at pronunciation. I find that a lot of people from, I'm not trying to bash Louisiana, but it seems like because of our accents and stuff, we're just not very good at pronunciation with it, which is kind of ironic because there are some weird names, and yet we pronounce those right. Like, my boyfriend Paul has asked me like 1,000 times how to say Atchafalaya, which is a river in an area in Louisiana, and, you know, he always says it very weird, and he's always like, is that how you say it? I say, it's Atchafalaya. So, anyway, I can pronounce that fine, but this Sharon, I don't know if that is correct at all. As you could see, it's like a woman, she's looking very startled in like a rose, she's almost like wrapped up in the center of a blooming flower. I'm assuming, like I said, it's a rose, but that's a guess. I'm not a flower expert. The other one, I wish I had the other one, but I don't. But again, this one's still decent. It's still cool. So this is Nightstone, and it's got a holographic changing cover here. You could see kid, skeleton skull, skull, kid. I like that a lot. Nightstone. So this one I like a lot because look at that window, guys. Look at those creepy peeps in the window. Glowing yellow eyes. Nice little blue tones. The kid has a eerie looking maroonish shirt. Kind of reminds you of blood. Like the little touch of the plants coming up here. Adds a nice touch of color there. The Waiting Room by T.M. Wright.
Some are alive there, some are not. They all want you.
That's kind of neat. I think it's a great cover. Here is probably, I told you I loved the Premonition cover, the book by J.N. Williamson with the roller coaster with the skeletons and the screaming kid. I love that one. Probably I love this one just as much. And this cover is illustrated by Jill Ballman, and she did a lot of great covers. And you can find some more information about her online. She's done so many wonderful covers. This one's no exception. Carlisle Street, I believe it's pronounced, by T.M. Wright. And just the detail in this cover, I'm going to get really close if I can. So look at her hair. There are like screaming ghoul-like designs in her hair. And also, coming out of her hair, it's almost like her hair is enveloping this mansion that you see at the top of the book. And there's someone standing in the lighted window up there. She looks a little possessed. She doesn't really look scared. She almost looks like she is the bad person. And how I know it's Jill is that she did sign it. And she signed it right here in the hair. You can see how it says Jill there. And I Googled it just to make sure it really was Jill Ballman, and it was. And if you want to know more about her, look her up. Her covers are fantastic. I can't even gush enough about this because these covers are freaking badass. Alright, so here is a nice Christopher Pike book I found, and it's called The Season of Passage. And I know I could find like a new copy of this if I wanted to. I just wanted to get like a paperback old school copy, and it was at the bookstore for cheap, and it was actually in decent condition. No wear, no tear. And so I was like, okay. It's not a first edition, though. I just wanted, like, an old school Christopher Pike, no matter if it was a first edition or not. And I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be great. And I'm actually looking forward to digging into Christopher Pike in general, because I actually haven't read anything by him. This one's Valley of Lights by Stephen Gallagher. And this one's pretty easy to find. You could probably find it very easily at a used bookstore, and definitely easily online. But I liked the spine, no big creases. I thought it would look great on my bookshelf, standing up like this. I like the cover with the creepy close-up eyes. So I said, why not? And for a second, let's take a little break for a beer. Cheers. I'm drinking out of my Bruins glass because I am a Bruins fan. I live in Louisiana and like hockey. It's weird, I know. No one likes it around here. It is what it is. And I am wiping off my hands before I handle more paperbacks. I don't want to get anything wet with condensation. So this is an amazing cover. It's called Stallion, and look at this freaking, basically like a skeleton horse, skeleton stallion. And not only is he like a skeleton-like, you can kind of see like his ribs and guts. I mean, look at all that redness. That's gross. Amazing. And even the font and the texture of the font for the title is cool. I love this cover. This is like my third favorite, so I've got like 3 favorites. I'll probably re-share the favorites at the end and do like a top 5 at the very end of this video. I'm picking them out right now. So I love this one. The spine's not so bad. The cover is amazing. I haven't really seen this anywhere online. This was at the bookstore. It was cheap as hell, $4. I had to pick it up. And by the way, so Kirk, R-E-I-N-E-R-T, again, bad with pronunciation, that's how it's spelled though for sure. He did some covers for Clive Barker books, including The Hellbound Heart, which I love that novella. I think it's great, and so the idea that he did this one is really awesome. He also did some Conan the Barbarian type of covers for that series, so look out for his work. Amazing. Like, literally insane, incredible. Look at that eye. Look at the details. I freaking love this cover. I freaking love it. Here's a pretty cool book that I probably will read one day because I've heard a lot about this author, and I've heard about multiple stories and books by this author. This is called XY, and it is by Michael Blumlin. And the cover's just cool. You could see a woman's face, and then there's a big slash, and there's like a screaming guy. Colors are amazing, just like with all of these books. Freaking colors are I can't say enough great things about this stuff. I really can't. Children of the Shroud.
They bring the beginning of a new world, or the end of this one.
You know, either or. We don't know. And this is by Garfield Reeves Stevens. And there's some creepy kids on this cover too. So I got quite a few good books with some creepy kids on the covers. I'm happy about that. Love the color of the title, specifically. The rest is kind of more black tones. The Pet, this one's very easy to find. Charles L. Grant, I've got a couple of his great books already. I've got Midnight and After Midnight. I'll show that in a different video because I don't have them with me. Plus, that would mess up my whole top 5 already, because they would have to be included and then everything would be thrown out. So I'll show them in a different video. Another book by J.N. Williamson. I actually picked up quite a few of his books because they all have, like I said earlier, freaking badass covers. So this one's called The Ritual, and I love, again, a kind of face, close-up face on the cover. It seems to be something I like. This is a face in a candle, and look at it, like half of it's melted off, and very neat. Look at that flame in the center, the melting wax on the side of the candle face. I like it.
Once it is complete, the world will be plunged into everlasting hell.
So ridiculous. I like this one a lot. Evil nuns are kind of creepy, kind of eerie, very cool. I don't know what is so intriguing about evil nuns, but, you know, I'm a big fan of The Exorcist, which has a possessed priest at one point. Spoiler alert. Not for long. He ends up saving the girl after he gets possessed momentarily. I'm sure I'm not spoiling it. Almost everyone's seen it. Come on. And I've read the book as well. The book is amazing. It's almost better than the movie because you get a lot more information about what's going on, a lot more information about the occult and religion and all kinds of cool stuff. I love the book. I can't say enough. But in the vein of creepy religious stuff, here's The Guardian. And this nun, to me, looks pretty evil. Look at her weathered face, her dark eyes, which have no pupils, yet she's gripping a cross. What is all of this about? And this is by Jeffrey Konvitz. Please excuse the pronunciation. You guys are going to be like screaming at me like, what is wrong with her? She can't speak. This one had a cash sticker. I have to take this off. It's not even sticky. It's just a stain there. I'm hoping it can come off. I'm worried that even stuff like Goo Gone or olive oil, or because someone told me to use olive oil, which I've tried it actually on this book and it didn't work. So Richard told me to do that and it didn't work. So I'm hoping that something gets it off. I've even ordered Bestine, B-E-S-T-I-N-E, which people say also work. I don't know, I'm really afraid to try any of that on paper type of books. I don't think it's made for that. I'll have to buy a garbage book at the bookstore with the same sticker, take off the sticker, and test it on these garbage books that aren't horror books. So this one is popular in terms of people know about this cover and the inner artwork. The Sentinel, and look at that amazing inner artwork. Again, this copy isn't the greatest, but I do love the art nonetheless. We've got some very creepy people inside of that cover. And again, something about evil nuns, evil priests, creepy priests. This one's definitely creepy. I mean, he doesn't have blacked out eyes or anything, but he's got little beady eyes, and he's like,
hey, don't mess with me. I'm mean and old or something.
Alright, Blood Beast, and I love this. It's a great cover. Awesome colors, because it's obviously a stone type of cover, because this is like a gargoyle demon creature. It's just amazing. And then we also have a skull, and I'm big on skeletons and skulls, so it's got everything. And it's got some orange in it, so it's got it all. Blood Beast. It's just a novel of chilling horror, it says.
Heart of Darkness, Soul of Evil.
I like it a lot. And this is by Pinnacle Horror. And last, but not least, because this is a well-known, and it was featured in Paperbacks from Hell, it's a well-known cover, Skeleton Dancer. Found this at the bookstore for cheap. It's actually, people do kind of look out for this online. I only got it for $3 or possibly less. I know I didn't pay more. So, look at this nice intricate cover. Lots of great colors melding into one another. We've got purple melding into orangey type of color. Love it. This is the last one. Alright, quickly, my top 5 picks for best covers out of this haul. 5 goes to Spook because I love the colors. Amazing colors. None of the other books I have this color scheme. Very neon. Number 4. Pranks, because the pumpkin and just the absurdity of the whole idea of what is this cover all about. It doesn't really make sense, but I'm intrigued nonetheless. Number 3. Carlisle Street, with Jill Bowman's artwork on the front here. Beautiful. I just love this. Everything about that works. Everything about that works. And here, I will have a problem picking between number 2 and number 1. Which one should go where? They're both so great. But I think, honestly, this one will be number 2. Very hyped about this one. It almost is number 1, but... So this is Premonition. It just missed first place for the best cover for me. And then number 1, I kind of just gushed about it just a few minutes ago. Stallion. I mean, the detail on this is amazing. I love everything about this. And then, like, the title just pops. So, that's number 1. It was hard. Number 2 and number 1. I'm very excited about all of it. Alright, guys, so that was my book haul. I hope you enjoyed. There's plenty more book videos to come. There's also more tour videos to come. Coming up soon, I will have a tour of my old school room back at my parents' house. I kind of keep it as a display room now. I don't really touch it. I don't really get to do anything in it except for go in and look in it whenever I visit my parents. But there's all kinds of Star Trek The Next Generation collectibles in there. There's all kinds of old school vintage toys from the 90s that I actually had as a kid that I still own and I keep in there, and so we can take a look at those in the video. And I also have some Pee-wee's Playhouse with some of the toys. I've got some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers stuff from the 90s, and I've got a lot of horror artwork and horror posters for movie posters. I've got, like, The Exorcist, I've got Nightmare on Elm Street, and some of the posters are a little different than the standard normal movie poster. Some of them are different art that I got at a horror convention, so we'll have that tour. Stay tuned. Please, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time I drop a video. And it would really help if you comment below your favorite cover that I talked about, and I really just love to hear other people's opinions. So tell me what cover you liked the best out of my haul, but also, why don't you comment your favorite cover that you own? Or your favorite cover that you wish you owned, that, you know, if you could have any cover, what would you want to have? Just drop that below in the comments and leave a like if you could. I really love horror, but I also love 90s, and that's what this channel is all about. From slime to slashers and everything in between, we'll cover it all here on Slime and Slashers. I appreciate you guys' time, and until next time, keep on killing it. Cheers!